What's up, everybody? Dave Bartosiak here, and I have another chart of the day. This one, well, it's just been going kind of crazy, so I had to talk about it. This popped up a lot in the chat groups that I'm in, and we're just looking at it like, what is happening? It is ticker NUKK Nukkleus, and do not adjust your screens. This is really what's happened to the stock. Split adjusted. There's been a couple of splits in this company, but you could see sort of the slow tick higher, and then things go bonkers. There's I believe, a 7-for-5 split that took place, and then most recently a 1-for-8 split that took place. Okay, this was I say was because it was before a fintech company officially, right? Although it looks like more like a SPAC almost. But recently, and this thing was split adjusted, and this is, when I say recently, I say December 16th. Pretty sure that's Monday. So Monday, this thing is at $1.39. Okay. Tuesday, it goes bonkers because it announced that it took a 51% stake in a company called Star 26 Capital. Star 26 Capital is a 95% owner of a company called RIMON, RIMON, which is an industrial supplier or an Israeli military supplier for Iron Dome components. Okay, so that's what the news was. Stock goes absolutely bonkers. Part of the reason why 1.73 million shares float. And then last night, they announced a $10 million private offering, another 1.6 million shares, or private placement rather, 1.6 million shares at $6. I don't even know how to chart. We can't even really chart this. It's just, I had to just point it out because of how bonkers it is, right? I mean, we could go ahead and do whatever we want. We can add simple moving averages to this if we want, and I will, just for giggles, right? But they're not going to mean much, right? Because when something is this volatile, I guess I'll put the 50 here just so we can see it. Something is this volatile, these moving averages really don't mean anything. After this 3-day run up, and earlier today, this thing was up at $78. Came all the way down to $36.20. It's already been halted, I think, 4 or 5 times. This is on Thursday, December 19th. So I guess this is, it's not a cautionary tale. I just wanted to point this out as the bananas of the day, and something that really is just captured my attention because of what happened. You know, split adjusted being almost $80, pre-market huge rally right after the open, gets up to 78. And then it's just halt down. Doesn't look like this is the first time something like this happened with this stock, right? We get these big spikes up and it spends the rest of the day kind of selling off. You know, is this finally a reason why this stock should go higher? This acquisition of Star 26 Capital? I'm not 100% sure. It's definitely a place where you can start a little bit of research. There is no Zacks rank on this, okay? It's just something that's popped up and it's just been so interesting that I had to talk about it. And I had to look at this ridiculous chart, this ridiculous spike up that we've seen. And again, like I said, reverse split brought that float way down. They did their private placement, and here we are. So, you know, you look at a pullback like this, you know, stock going from 78 to 36. You're like, wow, maybe I should buy that. But when you realize that on Monday, the stock was $1.34. Those folks lucky enough to be buying down at $1.34 are probably looking to sell up here, right? Not getting too greedy. Traded 62,000 shares on Monday, 174 million shares on Tuesday. Okay, 54 million shares yesterday, or I'm sorry, 170. Wait, what am I doing here? 174 2 days ago, 54 million yesterday. You know, 8 million already today, not even halfway through the day. So just a real interesting thing I had to go ahead and point out. There's news coming out with this thing periodically. That private offer, I was surprised they didn't do another type of offering up here, try to capture this money up here. Obviously, you know, really highly speculative. Be careful with things like this. I'm not pointing this out to get people to, you know, buy this thing up here. It's not at all what we're doing. This is literally just the chart of the day because I was like, look at this craziness. And that's what I want to do, is I wanted to look at the craziness. Okay. So this, no doubt, is loony, right? a fun story you could tell people about around the water cooler of the stock that went from $130 to 78 3 days, right? And even just like look at yesterday's range. Yesterday's range, 1690 to 6777. I mean, that's bonkers. 327% on the day. And that was on the heels of a 754% day the day before. Today, it's only down 5%, which to me is mind-boggling that the thing is only down 5% given the crazy run that it's taken. But this is what happens when you get a little bit of financial engineering that can really make an impact on a stock's price. Okay. So there you have it. I know that's kind of a departure from what we usually do on our chart of the day. Usually we're looking at moving averages and Fibonacci retracement levels and looking for things that you could use to guide your trading the next day or so. But this one has just been a news story. I've seen it on the top of stock twits and such. It's been all over X. People are talking about it. And so when you say, what have you heard of this Nukkleus thing? Yeah, you have. It was a fintech. They bought into a company that is in defense now, and the stock went absolutely bonkers on a very low float. But this could be a cautionary tale there, guys. So definitely not a long-term investment sort of play unless, the military side plays out more. I guess they make more investments in that, and then it sort of shifts the narrative on a company like this. But for now, it really smells like financial engineering trying to juice the stock up. All right, folks, there you have it for my chart of the day. Be sure to come check us out next week. Even though we're going to have a split week, I'll be on a few different days next week because I know we have the holiday, and then the week after that, we got a holiday also. But I'm going to try to find some fun, interesting charts next week. It's definitely going to be something that has had a pullback, creating a little bit of an opportunity because with the market selling off after the Fed yesterday and then the volatility today, I think we're going to see some nice stuff setting up for next week. So be sure to follow the author here if you're on Zacks.com, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll be back next week to give you another one of Dave's charts of the day for everybody here at Zacks. I want to say thank you, and we'll see you next week.